Hey everyone, this is Arnables98 and here we have my final build of the year, Barricade version 3 from the 2007 Transformers movie as well as Dark of the Moon. After making Brawl earlier this year, I wanted to do something a little bit simpler. Well, this guy isn't too simple, but at least he's smaller. And he only took about 2 weeks, which is about average for a car bot. And my Dark and Moon Soundwave I made last year set a pretty high standard for any car bot I would make in the future, and I'm really happy to say this guy easily holds up to this new standard. And now for a quick history lesson. I made the version 1 back in 2014 along with my original 2007 movie builds. This guy was quite blocky and really fragile, especially around the arms. And Barricade in fact became my first LEGO Transformer to receive an update, and I made the version 2 a year later. In 2015, and this was actually my 100 subscribers special. And yeah, this build was way ahead of its time in terms of techniques, and it was, even though it was a little pain to get into car mode, I think it holds up pretty well until now with the version 3, 7 years later. And I'm very happy to say I don't think I need to update Barricade anymore. And in terms of instructions, I'm slowly trying to move my instructions onto Rebrickable. And using the stud.io's instruction maker, I did make PDF instructions. You can see the link below or right here. And the good part is about these instructions is you don't need to download the stud.io app at all or program. All you need to do is just click on the PDF and you can open it on your phone, computer, or whatever. And to start here, using this very iconic Saleen Mustang police car mode. And this mode is very clean. There's minimal exposed hinges and studs, and it helps that a lot of the parts I wanted come in black. And taking a look at the details, you got the front grille and bumper, the lights. The hood area is pretty flat, which is nice, and then you got the gray windows, which contrast nicely with the black. And then you got the light bar, the rear windshield. On the back is where things kind of fall apart. There's some gaps here, and this section doesn't close together very well, but that's okay. I could also have added like a police sticker, but that's fine. And then the bottom is very nice too. And he unfortunately doesn't roll very well. The back wheels have some clearance issues and the front wheels are very loosely held in place, but rolling isn't a requirement for my smaller car bots, so that's fine. For a size comparison, we got a minifigure in Ravage. Once again, he is slightly smaller than minifig scale. His partner Frenzy, which I will show in more detail later. His original 2007 movie Deluxe. And here's my Dark of the Moon Soundwave. I am not quite sure how these two cars scale, but I think they look fine. And finally, here he is with my old Camaro B. And yeah, this guy is quite outdated. I do need to make a new Bumblebee. And of course, you can recreate the chase scene from the movie. And let's start with the transformation. It's quite fun actually, and it's not too painful to get him back into a car. And to start, first we have to split the light bar and rotate it. And then bring up the front wheels for clearance. And next you want to fold these tabs down, and then take these side panels and fold these up, just like this. And then these side windows will untab from the center of the car, like that. And they're just held in by a single stud, like that. And then finally you want to bring down these arms here, like this. And coming down here, you want to fold these out just for clearance. And now you can pull out the arms. This part will start to wiggle. You just grab them and rotate. And same for this side. Grab them and rotate. And then coming back here, you have the head section where you fold up. And this part is very interesting. You want to get this arm back as far as possible. Open this chest panel here. And same for this side. And then inside here are his fake lights, which they're kind of a pain to fold out. This is honestly the hardest part of the transformation, just because of clearance alone. Get your fingers in there. And then you can set the head back into place and rotate the arms back. And what you want to do here is you want to have the chest at a slight angle, and these little tabs will fold back like that. And just like this. And coming into the back, you just want to kind of pull the backpack apart like here. And this part will just come undone just like that. And then you want to just pull it away from the body. And in this section here, we'll just kind of accordion into place like that. And for his chest, you want to fold down these little hip skirts. And then you want to take the front bumper, fold that down. And then coming over to here, you want to take these little parts of the bumper and then angle them upwards. And then for the arms, you want to rotate this shoulder thing around, and then you want to have it at a slight angle, and then set the wheel back like this. And if it hasn't already, rotate this ever so slightly. And then now for these hands, they're based on the Studio Series sideways transformation, where they fold up, and then you can fold the fingers. And there's one arm. And the second one is also very simple. You rotate that, and then you kind of set the wheel in place. And then coming to the hand, and then put the tire in, and then get his fingers just like that. And now for the backpack, you want to fold these panels down just for clearance. And then you want to split the light bar along this hinge like that. Just like that. And that will give you the clearance to rotate all this up. And making sure everything is in position. You want to rotate this, kind of cover up the back windshield, and then fold these tabs down. And what will happen here is that the side windows are going to tab right into here, where that white part is, like that, and like that. And then you can take these sections, fold them down as far as as they go, like that. And then finally, to lock all this into place, this is kind of dubious, but or sketchy. But you have these two droid arms. They're gonna kind of clip onto the top of the bars here and there, and just kind of give them a nice little push, and like that. And then finally, you got to rotate the light bar so that the colored sections are on the outside. And now for the legs, finally. These are actually my favorite part of the transformation. You want to fold these, the rear light sections outwards, and then splitting the legs in half. You can then move all this around, just like that. It's a lot of mass shifting, which is nice. And then rotate all this around, just like that. And then coming onto the back here, you want to kind of fold this back down again, but kind of rotate this section so the lights are on the back, and put that into place. And same for this section here. And rotate that, and then kind of fold it back like this. And then for the thighs, you want to rotate all this around, and then rotate this around. And same for this side. It kind of brings the detailing forward. You can see on the front of the thighs, and then you rotate this again. And these feet are really cool. You gotta take this heel spur, fold it back, and then you want to fold this upwards. This is actually his toe spike, if you can see it. Yeah, like that. Fold this to fill in the gap, and then fold all this up. That is one leg, and same for this side. Fold the heel spur, fold up this toe spike, and then fold this section to fill in this gap, and just kind of press it down. And getting everything all straightened up and getting the arms back into position. You kind of have to move them for clearance. And just like that. Setting him onto the ground. After adjusting quite a few things, here's Barricade in his robot mode. And spinning him around, he's very faithful to the CGI, even on the back. He has quite an iconic design with those monstrous arms and proportions. And to start, here is his head. It's no longer a very small pinned head like my previous versions, and it's very simple. And you got the crumpled up chest look. These lights here are actually fake, because on the real car, these parts are actually covers that go on top of here, but since Lego isn't very thin, I had to go like the fake part route, which is fine. And this angled section, I originally had this planned to be a fake part that would hide in vehicle mode and fold out, but I couldn't fit that, so using the real car is fine, the car hood. And coming to the legs, I love how these turned out. You got the weird angled shape, and you even got the little toe spike, which I never got right in the previous versions. And the lights end up exactly where I want them to. And then these details here, it's kind of debatable what color they are. Some of the toys have like a lavender, light purple, some have like a blue, or even a gray. I stuck with gray because in the movie model, it doesn't seem to stand out very much. It's kind of just like shrapnel, so it's a gray color. And then the arms are very well done, these weird proportions. This section, is you saw, kind of pops off during transformation, but you need that for articulation. And then you got the front wheel wells. These they look very spindly in the movie. And in the back, I'm very happy about this. The funny thing is that most Barricade toys, they try to condense the backpack, but on the real thing, it actually kind of spreads out. The light bars actually end up pretty far apart, and I try to incorporate some kind of spine detail, but I think that is fine. And most importantly, he is very solid. Nothing will come off since the backpack tabs in very well. And for articulation, his head is can just rotate side to side like that, and his arms are on this big ball joint. Kind of move up and down, and a bend at the elbow. And then you have, in order to move the bicep swivel, you have to rotate this panel back so it can go out pretty far. And of course you have his movable fingers. And for better arm articulation, you just have to rotate this siren portion forward, and then you can lift the arm as much as you want. And no waist swivel, but you got a good range at the hips and also the knees. Unfortunately, there's no ankle pivot, so it's a little hard to kind of pose him up. And you can get him in some kind of interesting pose. And I gave him his spiky flail as his weapon. It even spins too. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this thing. It looks straight up goofy, but I never made it for the previous two versions, so this is my first time with this. As you can see, it's just made up of these clips, robot arms clipped onto this center disc. And I know it's kind of illegal, but that's fine. And then to attach it, you just gotta take his fingers, fold them outwards, and then this section will just clip right into here, and then fold inwards, and there you go. It's a cool flail. Unfortunately, this thing is way too heavy for his arm, so it's kind of pointless unless you have a stand to support it. Yeah, something like that. There he is with his pinwheel of doom. And of course, taking a look at his partner Frenzy, which played an important part in the movie yet has no Studio Series toy. And this is actually my second version of Frenzy, my first version here. This guy is pretty much a refined version of this guy with the original, just using newer parts, and I just love how it turned out. I kept the head the same. He has the chicken legs, and then he has like the 4 arms. You can kind of combine them like General Grievous and spread them out. And it's pretty simple articulation at the head, and then the arms, and then the legs. And then you can get him in kind of a walking pose, like he's ready to chase and pull down somebody's pants. And he's slightly taller than the average minifigure. This is the best I could do with size. I think he's supposed to be smaller than the average human. And even though he's an accessory to Barricade, I did give him some accessories of his own. You have his ninja stars. These are just like the shuriken pieces. And then I gave him his little representation of his radio, even though it doesn't transform. And then you can have him hold the ninja stars like he does, and he can pretend to throw them. Like that. And here's Frenzy right next to Barricade, and these two look amazing together. And you can put them up in the front. And yeah, that is quite a difference. 8 years apart right here. And for some robot mode comparisons, we got Ravage and a minifigure. Here's the original deluxe toy. And here he is with my Dark the Moon Soundwave. I think these two are supposed to be around the same height in universe, but my Soundwave is kind of tall for a car bot. I honestly don't mind this. And I still think Soundwave is my favorite carbot I've made. He's just a little more sturdier and his transformation is a bit more fun than Barricade's. And here is with his rival, Bumblebee. This is the old Camaro version. These two stand about head to head, which is perfect, though I think this design really needs an update. And with my new Camaro B, which is a little bit taller, which is not very accurate, and I also need to update this design too. And here's Barricade finally with the rest of my updated 07 cons. We got Brawl and Bone Crusher, and yay, we're halfway there. Only 4 to go, and 3 of them happen to be pretty giant, and I'm concerned about that. And that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed Barricade version 3 here. This is my final take on this design, and I'm very certain about it. I'm happy that he's about the same quality as my Dark the Moon Soundwave in terms of accuracy to the CGI in both modes. And yeah, the only issue I have with him is some bits like to fall off, especially around the arms, but I guess that's also how his design is. It's very like spindly and it's kind of hard to capture correctly at this smaller scale. And yeah, I also enjoy the little Frenzy. He was a fun little guy. And yeah, that is it for this video, and also this is my final build of the year, so I guess I'll see you all in 2023. And you probably know what's going to go on that year. There's a certain movie coming out with animals and robots and vehicles, and I'm just waiting for more reference material in the meantime. And I'll see you guys then.